There's a man who started buying stocks when he was 11 years old. By the time he was 30, he had $1 million. By 60, he had 16 billion. Today, that number is over $120 billion.
Warren Buffett didn't get rich because he was smarter than everyone else. He got rich because he understood one specific thing that 90% of people completely ignore. And once you see what it is, you can never unsee it.
Today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is and why most people will stay broke their entire lives because they don't get it. It's called compound interest. Now, most people think they know what interest is. You put $100 in a bank. The bank pays you $5 a year. Simple. But compound interest is different. Compound interest is when the money you earn starts earning its own money. And then that money earns money. And then that money's money earns money. It snowballs. Let me show you what that actually looks like. Imagine you have $1,000. You invest it and it grows 10% in a year. Now you have $1,100. Most people stop here. They think, okay, 10%, that's $100 a year. But here's where it gets crazy. Next year, you don't just earn 10% on your original 1,000. You earn 10% on 1,100. So instead of getting $100, you get 110. The year after that, you get 121, then 133. It doesn't sound like much at first, but watch what happens over time. After 10 years, that $1,000 turns into $2,594. After 20 years, it's $6,727. After 30 years, it's $17,449. After 40 years, it's $45,259 from $1,000 with nothing else added, just because you waited. This is the thing Buffett figured out before anyone else. He bought his first stock at 11 years old, 3 shares of a company called Cities Service Preferred at $38 a share. The stock dropped. He held it, then it went back up. He sold it for a small profit. But the real lesson wasn't the profit, it was patience. By the time Buffett was 14, he was investing seriously. He's been compounding his wealth for over 75 years. And here's the part that'll blow your mind. 99% of Warren Buffett's wealth came after his 50th birthday. Read that again. 99% after 50. Buffett wasn't always rich. He just compounded longer than anyone else alive. Now let me show you why this matters for you, because this is where it gets really brutal. Imagine 3 people. We'll call them Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Alice starts investing $200 a month at age 25. She does this for 10 years until she's 35. Then she stops. Forever. She invests a total of $24,000 over those 10 years. Bob doesn't start until 35, but Bob keeps investing $200 a month all the way until he's 65. That's 30 years of consistent investing. Bob invests a total of $72,000. Charlie waits even longer. He doesn't start until 45. Then he invests $200 a month until 65. Charlie invests $48,000 total. Now, here's the question. At age 65, who has the most money? You'd think Bob, right? He invested 3 times more years than Alice. He put in 3 times more money. Nope. Alice wins. By a lot. At 65, assuming a 10% return, Alice has around $650,000. Bob has around $450,000. Charlie has barely $150,000. Alice invested less money than both of them. She invested for the fewest years, and she ends up with the most. Why? Because her money compounded for 40 years. Bob's compounded for 30. Charlie's only had 20. Time is the most important variable. Not how much you invest, how long. This is why a 25-year-old putting away $100 a month will end up wealthier than a 45-year-old putting away $1,000 a month. The math is brutal. There's no way to make up for lost time except with insane amounts of money, and most people don't have that. This is also why your parents or your boomer uncles seem unstoppable financially. It's not because they were smarter or made more, it's because they had 40 years of compounding working for them. They started early without even knowing it, because houses were cheap, retirement accounts were standard, and they had time on their side. And this is why a lot of younger people feel hopelessly behind. They started 10 years late. They feel like they need to catch up. They go chasing crypto, options trading, get-rich-quick schemes, anything that promises to compress time. But there's a better answer, and it's the most boring thing in the world. Start now, even with small amounts, even with $20 a month. $50 a month at a 10% return becomes about $315,000 in 40 years, from $50 a month, less than what most people spend on coffee. You don't need to pick stocks, you don't need to be smart, you don't need to be lucky, you just need to start. The simplest way is buying an index fund, something like VOO or VTI. These funds buy the entire stock market for you. You're not betting on one company, you're betting on the whole economy. Historically, the stock market has returned about 10% per year over long periods. So here's the takeaway. Albert Einstein supposedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether he actually said it or not, the principle is the same. Time plus consistency beats genius every single time. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. They'll keep waiting for the perfect moment to start, the perfect job, the perfect amount of savings, the perfect investment. But there is no perfect moment. The only perfect moment was 20 years ago. The second best moment is today. The people who actually act on this will end up in the top 10% of wealth in their lifetime, not because they earned more, because they started earlier. So start, even small, even today. Because compound interest doesn't care how smart you are, how much you make, or where you came from. It only cares about one thing, time. But there's a catch I haven't told you about yet. Compound interest assumes your money is actually growing in real value, and there's something silently working against you in the background. Something most people don't even notice until it's too late. It's called inflation. And in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how it's stealing from you right now and what you can do about it.